it evolved from the big mainframe computers that we used to use, back then, to now the more sophisticated, your laptops or your even your phone, your smartphone. So it's evolved.
Hey everybody, my name is Angie Murenga. You're watching Mwenye-Nchi Monday. It's the 31st day of August. August is over. We're coming into the month of birthing. And today we want to have a conversation about the fourth industrial revolution. Very exciting. And I have a guest, Evelyne. Welcome to Just Angie.
Thank you, Pastor Angie. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. I was actually surprised. We've never done a Just Angie with you. I don't know why. I thought that we had done something
Yes,
before.
The first time I'm on the Just Angie. So I'm privileged and I'm honored. Thank you very much.
Thank you very, very much for joining us. Maybe you can tell us who you are a bit, and then also the why 4IR, but there's so much to talk about. I mean, I want to talk about what it's about, why we have to be in it, why Christians are always wary of new things, and and even just how even did you get into that headspace. But first, who is Evelyne?
Yeah. Okay, so my name is Evelyne. I'm a corporate banker by profession, but I'm very passionate about the fourth industrial revolution, and I'm sure we'll get into it. But very passionate about the fourth industrial revolution, and I like to teach. So sometimes I call myself a teacher because I like to research and I like to teach. So that's who Evelyne is. Okay. And a child of God. Amen. Most importantly.
Hallelujah. Very important.
Yes.
Why 4IR, Evelyne?
I think maybe if I start with the history of where I got that interest of the fourth industrial revolution. I remember I was just a lot has been going on in terms of digitization in the world, and especially where we are currently right now. And it started with data and big data and analytics, and how data has become the new oil. So from that, now I began to sort of research more into what is this data about. What are people doing about data? Data is collected from literally anywhere or anything. If it's your credit card, for example, it will tell you where you've shopped, what, where, when, how, etc. So how can we utilize that data and make sense or come up with a story about that data, So just researching more about that is when I got into now the other technologies. So big data is just one of it, and it sits under artificial intelligence. And so as I researched more, I just got into the fourth industrial revolution, and just it just sparked my interest.
As you define and as you think about how you define the fourth industrial revolution, I remember having a conversation with you once, and you were doing some research, just conducting research from different people, and you wanted to speak to somebody as a woman of God, so we will start there. But then when I was watching The Men Who Built America, it just clicked. Everything just it's like the cogs of the wheel, just everything sunk. Because I understood. When I watched it, I thought that they had to the building up of America, and I guess America is the benchmark because it's the country that has really developed, evolved, and become. But they did it on an industrial revolution. There had to be a revolution, and then things would change, and it would just take the world into another space. So actually I was fascinated, but I was grateful that I had spoken to you first. So what is the fourth industrial revolution first? How would you define it in your words? Okay. And as you would like to speak it.
Okay. To define the fourth, I think we have to start with the first.
Okay.
So when we look at the first industrial revolution, was really about, I think it was around the 1700s, mid-1700s, and we're moving from animal and human power. So, people would transport
things by
goods by carts, animal carts or themselves, and then it moved into the steam, so mechanical power. So steam would be used to generate power, and then we saw the invention of the steam engine, the steam locomotive. So we'd see, they had to build a railway, of course, to, for the locomotive to transport whatever it is.
Trains,
and goods could be transported much faster than animals could, and so that was really the first industrial revolution. And we'd see, even roles, jobs changed because people before probably, I don't know, they were transporting through animal carts, but now they had to build these locomotives and build the railways. So we see new careers coming into the picture. Then we go into the second industrial revolution, was really about electrical power. And we saw, the invention of electricity, the electric bulb, and the assembly line, and we saw especially the assembly line brought into play the very fast, I think, the Ford Model T, the car. Yeah, and because of the assembly line, then they could produce in mass as opposed to just one car at a time. And so that again brought another industrial revolution, and we saw, you know, electricity, electrical gadgets, and I mean basically electrical power, electricity, the light bulb, and anything that could use electricity now began to sort of come into the picture. Then when we get into the third industrial revolution, which is around the mid-1950s, was really the invention of the mainframe computer, you know. So it goes into now digital power, right? And so, you know, it evolved from the big mainframe computers that we used to use, you know, back then, to now the more sophisticated, you know, your laptops or your even your phone, your smartphone. So it's evolved. And also the internet came into play.
So that's the Internet of Things. When they say the Internet of Things,
the Internet of Things now is more on the fourth industrial revolution. So when we see, you know, different economies it's still evolving. The third is still evolving, and so that's why we say it's still ongoing even right now as we
speak. So the third is evolving into the fourth.
Yes.
So it's still part of that one. It's building on that one.
Yes.
Okay, but so remember?
Different economies develop at different stages. So some people are still experiencing, you know, the initial steps of the third industrial revolution. Okay. So,
but other economies are into
the
fourth industrial revolution.
So
that's
very
sort
interesting. Of an interface.
And you know, when I looked at it, because now I'm thinking of it, now I'm watching the movie, The Men Who Built America is in my head, and then now your stages, and there was movement. So there was great economic movement, economic empowerment, and lifestyle change with every revolution. Because I'm thinking of human power and animal power, to then steam power, and to the railroads and the rail, and then to electricity, and then to now the digitization age, the computer age, but which is now evolving into the fourth one, which we shall have a conversation about in these few weeks that we're going to be here. But watching the movie really helped me. And then I could see how, so they say these are the men who built America, and it was amazing that entrepreneurship and innovation and opportunity created this vision of America. It actually birthed it. But everybody needed something else from somebody else, and it sort of also brought connectivity. Because when they built the railroad, there was only one railroad, I don't know, going from where to where. But then they connected the whole, I think the southern part of America. The railroad was built, and now it was easy to connect and to go to places. Even when I was seeing the railroad, I'm thinking now even internet has created connectivity globally, you know. We can have a meeting here, different people can log in, you know, so that's still also connectivity, movement, economic empowerment. And I think that's why it's important to have a conversation about getting into the fourth industrial revolution, wherever we find ourselves on that spectrum, because this is Mwenye-Nchi Monday. And here is where the citizens of this nation and nations of the world have to own their nation, own their process. And then I wanted to, and I think that's where I'll start next week, on being left behind. You know, there's a whole series called How Christians Are Left Behind. So we cannot be left behind. And that's why I thought it was important for us to discuss this, to have this conversation. So hold that thought. Thank you very much for watching Mwenye-Nchi Monday. We'll see you next Monday. And we're discussing the fourth industrial revolution. So get your friends, pass the video on, tell them to log in. We'll be here with Evelyne next week. God bless you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.